Where's the comments, Ty?
You want some comment there, don't worry.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go on and check we're on Facebook. Yep, we're live.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
Give us a comment if you can see us and hear us okay.
I have to say it's quite stressful here getting everything connected up. I've been working on it for the last hour. So I think it's all okay. Anyway, I don't know if you know where we are. We're at the bottom of the industrial estate in Swansea, the Forest Park Industrial Estate. That's where the Oxford warehouse is. And at the top of the estate, if you went back, I was going to say 30 years, but I mean more than 30 years. I was going to say 40 years. I mean more than 40 years. If you went back 46 years ago in September, and it was the 9th of September, that's when I actually started in the Metoy factory, which was at the top of the estate. It's still, the factory's still there, but part of it burnt down a few years ago. But there's a big warehouse still there, and there is still a big foundry chimney there as well. And that's where I started my working life at 16. And the first thing they did is they put me on the production lines with a white coat on, because they said I was a trainee manager, believe it or not. And that didn't make life easier, because the factory had 3,500 people in it, and 3,300 were ladies. And that actually meant that I had to spend half my time talking to ladies who didn't listen to me at all.
Should we say hello to some people that are saying hi?
Yeah.
We've got Andy Bilborough.
Hi, Andy.
Sorry, we've got my daughter here with us as well.
Yeah.
Edward Weeks, hello.
Hi, Edward. Yeah, I know.
We've got Chris Woodcock. We've got Darren McHugh. We've got Peter Hannah. Ashley Lovering.
Hi, Ashley. Sorry,
Hi, Ashley.
Sorry about the other day, but I had to rush because my grandson, he hurt his ankle playing football. And actually, as we sit here now, he decided to go back and play football. He hurt his ankle again tonight. But we will catch up at some stage, Ashley, yeah?
Hello, Willem from the Netherlands.
Willem. Have I met Willem before? I think I have.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Willem,
yeah.
Have you met my dad before? Andy Brown, hello. Chris Lane, hello.
Yeah. I love baby. So,
proper random question. Hang on. Someone said a proper random question, Taff. I thought I saw you at the Tower Hill a few weeks ago. Was it you?
The Tower Hill. What is that? A bar? Is it?
Didn't want to disturb you having your breakfast.
The Tower Hill. Was it? Where's the Tower? Is that a nightclub or something? I don't know what it is. No, I don't think I was at the Tower. Is it? Where's the Tower
Maybe
Hill?
It was your twin.
It could be my twin. It could be my brother, actually. He's a lot older than me, 2 years older, and he does look a lot like me, but he's not as pretty, you know.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, it could be. But I actually have been traveling a little bit, so I've been keeping busy. I've been actually visiting the factories in the last couple of months to try and help Eloise now. I'll spend more time helping her with Oxford. She doesn't listen to me at all, to be honest.
Couple of other things. Rohi, this is my daughter. She'll be going in a minute. We're just trying to set up all the IT with my partner, so he was helping us. Evening, Jamford, evening, Eloise and Taff. Looking forward to this one. The last one was fun.
Yeah.
Hiya, both from Scotland, Claire.
Yeah, I know.
A couple of questions about Oxford Rail. We'll get to that at some point through the live. We'll have a little discussion on the rail side.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Did everybody see the announcement that has been put on the Facebook page and the collector page? Has everyone seen it and had a chance to digest it? Oh, it says no, it was opposite the Tower of London.
Oh, the Tower of London. Well, yes, I was.
Tower Hill.
Yes, I was. Oh, when was that?
It says a few weeks ago.
I was, yeah. It was.
You didn't want to disturb you having your breakfast.
It was. What it was is that I met my wife 22 years ago, and so we went up to London. You know, it cost I don't know why I waste my money on it, to be honest, but it cost a fortune, and we spent some time up there, a couple of days. Yeah, so that was me. It was me.
Can everyone still hear us? Someone says the sound's gone.
Oh.
Can everyone still hear us? Let me check. Back now. It's back now. I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
It's probably the wireless or something like that.
Oh, no.
So anyway, all I was saying was I was in Tower Hill, and I was. If you didn't hear me, I was there with my wife. Yeah, it was definitely me.
Martin says, great new releases ahead. Great to see new castings and more JCB items. Thanks, Oxford, for listening to the collectors.
Yeah. So we just recently have seen. Oh, there goes Tiwa. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh no. No, she's not happy. She's not happy. But yeah, it's good to see the JCBs. There's quite a few bits coming through. I know some of the samples, first off samples came through, and I'm sure we'll have a look at those later, will we?
I think we can get them out. Well, let's go through some of the things we're going to be doing in this live.
Yeah.
Hi, both. Greg here from Cornwall.
Hi, Greg.
Taff, I never forget your kindness if I mention Bun 1 on a Circus Land Rover. Do you know what that's referring to?
Got it. Absolutely got it.
Greg, isn't it?
Greg, met you at Dorset. I think, was it Dorset? Yeah, I'm sure it was Dorset. No worries. That was good. Well, it wasn't good, but, you know, we did what we should do. So.
Michael Addy, love to see the Volvo F88 being done in 176 scale.
Yeah.
So just to let everyone know, there is a free shipping code for all orders placed tonight. It's across the bottom of the screen there. It's Oxford Live, and that will give you free shipping in the UK. We've got a couple of other bits going on tonight that you've been spending all week planning, haven't you?
I don't know, what is it? Tell me.
So at the end of the live tonight, we will have a winner of a collector's box. Anyone who's placed an order while we're live, there will be we'll do a random selection of somebody to win a collector's box, and that's just a random mixture of models, but it's a good value. What else have we got going on? We've got a couple of models that we're going to be doing a price drops on. We won't be packing this time. It was a bit much for me last time trying to read your comments and pack and do announcements and do everything. It was a bit too fiddly.
I actually placed an order, and to be honest, I don't think it was packed very well.
I think I was just throwing it all in the box. So I think what we'll do is we'll stick to letting the warehouse team pack your orders. We will be putting a freebie in with all orders. So if you order tonight, you're basically going to get free shipping. You're going to get a freebie. You're going to get a chance to be entered into our competition at the end of this live. So at the end of the live, we'll be drawing the winner. And you could get a discount on the products that we're going to announce that are part of the price drop. We're also going to be launching our mega competition, which is in conjunction with us celebrating 30 years of Oxford Diecast. So the question I asked to you, my dad, is 30 years. What were you doing 30 years ago?
Oh, thanks.
Where did it all begin?
Thanks for warning me on that one. So what actually happened is in 1989, at the top of the estate here, me and two other colleagues bought the factories, and that was because the Corgi brand had been sold to Mattel, and there was 250 workers there who were going to be out of work, and we decided we'd buy the factory in 1989, and the Corgi brand was sold to Mattel. And then, unknown to me, I was only young at the time, the lawyers made me sign a 4-year non-compete. That meant that I was not allowed to compete in diecast for 4 years, which I thought was a bit unfair, to be honest. And I think actually, if you tried to do that today, you wouldn't be allowed to do it. But if you think of 1989, it was sold to Mattel. I worked for Mattel for 3 months, technically. And then we used the factory up there to make anything we could, which wasn't toys. So satellite dish components, door handles for cars. We used to make hand grenade mechanisms. But the Duracell torches was one of the big bits of business. Cut a long story short, in 1993, 4 years passed, we moved the factory, and that is when Oxford Diecast was set up. So it was September 1993, and it's actually, as I was trying to explain to Eloise earlier, but she doesn't listen to a word I say.
I do.
It was in 1977, in the September, around about now, that I started first in the factory, in the Meto factory. And that was an amazing time. And it worries me today that kids just don't get that experience. I mean, Eloise does, because she used to come to the factory, so she used to see the machines. But nowadays, I experience it very often that people design things and they think they understand the factory, but they don't understand the factory. They don't understand machines. They don't understand the realities of injection molding, and the world isn't a perfect place. It's just like a car. You know, if you drive a car, you can have problems. In a factory, you can have problems. You can have problems with the zinc, which is supposed to, it's over 400 degrees. If you've got it slightly hot, slightly cold, different impurities, different blends. And it just worries me that no one has that experience today, or has the chance to have that experience. If I could ever bring back manufacturing to the UK, I would. It would be difficult, and it would probably cost £5 million. So if anyone has got £5 million, if they decide to send a check, then I can start investing in a new factory.
Okay, let's read some questions here. So I've got Bruno, greetings from Brazil. I'm a big fan of the Oxford Aviation range. Bruno, thanks for all your likes and comments on my Facebook page. I do see them. Robert Brown, no packing. I was looking forward to you being Superwoman again, Eloise.
I must say, as I said a little bit earlier, I did have my package and it wasn't packed up very well. So.
David Hannam says, thank you for the upcoming TT120. So yeah, that's on the way. Hi, Gwion. Nice to see you.
Gwion. I need your help, Gwion.
Gwion, we need your help. Train Mad Lad says, hey Leo, here my extended family is near Swansea. I think they picked up that we're Welsh.
Yeah.
Matthew Dunn says, more Eddie Stobart, please.
More
As
Eddie
if
Stobart.
we don't have enough.
Goodness, yeah.
I think we've got 144 people live.
Have we got 144?
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
That's good, yeah.
Rohi says, yeah, there's a huge difference between designing and actually executing production.
Correct. I mean, I'm not going to harp on about it, but if you've got 5 hours now, I'll take you through the process, because what people don't understand is that...
Stephen says, Taff, do you think diecast model production will return to the UK even if you're not given the 5 million?
4.4.
Are we bartering?
I do. I'll be honest with you. I do spend an awful lot of time. I am a bit of a geek. And the reason I'm a geek is that in this factory that was at the top of the hill in 1982, I was 22 years old. They launched a computer, and it was called a Dragon computer. And the toy factory, the Meto factory, realized that technology was taking over, and they needed something new, and they launched the Dragon computer. The only reason I was involved with it was because I was young and understood computer programming and soldering. And much to my horror, it was August 2022, just as the main production was about to start, the factory manager went on the sick, pressure, I think. Well, I was left there to make these blooming computers, and it was a crazy time because I wasn't used to making circuit boards and checking circuit boards. And my Eloise's mum, my first wife, where we all get on fine, don't worry about it. Eloise's mum, I would take her back to the factory every night, so we could soak test the computers and switch them over. And we had to switch over 400 computers each evening for about 3 weeks to keep the testing going through the night. So, you know, I'm a geek. And so, you know, next week I visit some shows, and I've been visiting a lot, obviously, with some of the new digital technologies, the digital printing, and various numbers of you will know. I'm very interested, obviously, in zinc, well, metal printing. And I did my first metal printing in 2011 with the university locally, but it took 18 hours to produce a casting, and it was terrible, absolutely useless. But today, obviously, the technology is a lot greater. So if production does return to the UK, it will return when the technology is there. And what we have to do is return production, not when we can match people, but we've got to beat them. We've got to be better than them. So technology is the key.
So we've got a couple of other comments coming through. Just want to thank a couple of people for placing orders. We've got Judith Ward, thank you for your order, and Barry West and Martin Piercy, thank you for your orders. Where are we? So we've got quite a few comments here. Bear with me, let me just scroll back. So Steve Pearsall says, great to see a proper family business. Also a great range in Engage. Keep up the good work. Well, while we're here, actually, we have got a couple of the Engage castings that have come in.
Will I be able to see those?
Yeah, you're just going to have to hold it up like this. See?
I haven't done my nails.
So this is the Engage Capri.
I've only seen pictures of this. So what always amazed me with N Scale is that we did the buses first, and then when the cars came, one of the first cars was a Morris Minor Traveller. And I know this sounds a bit bizarre, but I was a bit afraid that it wouldn't look like a Morris Minor Traveller. And then when the first shots came, I remember looking at it and going, it looks like a Morris Minor Traveller, which I know shouldn't be strange, but it was because the detail was there. And I'm looking at this Capri now, and I'm looking at the radiator on it, and it's amazing. You won't be able to see it, but I don't know if you can, but it's absolutely amazing. So I can see a Capri here, and it's the classics, isn't it? You know, back in the 70s when I bought people, I used to collect car brochures and things like that. But look at that Ford Fiesta there. Look at that one. Can they see that one there? Look at that. And it, you know, it looks like a Ford Fiesta. It looks like a Ford Fiesta. Wow.
Guion says the TT120 stuff is great.
Yeah.
Rohi says, might you look at India as a production centre?
Well, I've been to India several times. I was last in India just before COVID. And in my other life, I set up some manufacturing there. Diecast is quite difficult because there's not many companies capable of die casting. The mold making for what we do still, it's on the edge. But things like masking are still quite problematic, and pad printing is okay, but not if there's a lot of pad printing. So I was looking today at the Range Rover Classic, what's that RCL called? Dorian Gap, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was looking at all the printing on that and saying to myself, you know, we're looking at different printing technologies because that's quite expensive to make. And in India at the moment, I wouldn't be able to produce anything at all like that. but things change. I mean, I remember
Oh,
in
your
the.
first wife is watching.
See, hello.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum. Liz. So I remember. What was I saying?
I don't know. I distracted you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Someone said they really hoped the Ford Ranger Raptor would have a police livery. Maybe to come, but we've only announced I think 2. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's funny actually because I did a lot on the Ranger Raptor, and then you see a lot of the what's the other one called, the Wildcat, can't think what it's called.
It's
Wild Track.
Yeah.
We're doing the Ranger Raptor, and there's the Wild Track, which if you actually look at them, you think, oh, they look the same, but it's one of these things where they look the same, but they're totally different. They've got different wheel arches, different bits. So I don't know where, but the Ranger Raptor, I think the shots are on the way for that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
They are. The shots are on the way. We're trying to speed things up now.
we're getting a bit more momentum now.
Yeah.
I think things are. We're starting to have steady releases, and we're starting to get things coming through a bit quicker. But we always seem to be catching up. So, but it seems to be we're getting there a little bit now. But so we've also got Brian Collins says, thank you, Taff, Eloise, and all at Oxford Diecast with 30 years of diecast models, some great models released, and hopefully many more in the future.
Oh, brilliant.
Is there any chance of, so this is Barry Fitzpatrick, is there any chance of 80s, 90s Japanese or German cars from Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, Nissan, etc.?
It's difficult because we did the Datsun 240 or 260Z, and everyone was, oh, why are you doing that? And you think, oh, right, okay. But we have announced, what have we announced? Have we announced it?
Which one? Yeah, we've announced that one.
There's a Mazda MX-5. Sorry, I couldn't remember whether we'd announced it or not. But there is a Mazda MX-5. And also, I know it sounds a bit strange. It's quite difficult with the licensing. It's with Komatsu, I remember working with them, being a Japanese company, and it was fine. It was fine. I got the license, and then I could never ever talk to them again. So it is quite difficult, and it is narrow. It's like if you go into Australia and you say Nissan Bluebirds, they go, "Oh, Nissan Bluebirds, oh, fantastic!" But then you come to the UK, and people sort of don't really care for the Nissan Bluebird. Or I don't think they do anyway.
Right, there's lots of questions coming through. Are you going to see the JCB7 this year? Well, we've got the first shot of that here. Yeah. So whether this year's probably going to be a bit tight by the time we get the there's a few amendments that need to be made to that, if I'm right. Some small details.
Well, what it is when you make the mold, sometimes you don't carve the detail in. So actually in here, I don't know if you can see, but there's these areas here which should have grill engraved in them, but it's an engraving process on the steel of the mold, and it's not something if you tried to do it with the electrodes, you wouldn't get the fine detail. So you do it afterwards, but it just adds time. And the other thing is we have to go through approval processes, which may sound easy to you, but it isn't easy. And my favourite story, am I rabbiting on?
No. They just, the questions are coming in.
My favourite one is years ago, I did Top Gear, and I had the samples, and I sent them off to the BBC and said, right, here's the Top Gear samples. There was a boat, a toy, wasn't there?
Toy boat.
Yeah. There's 3 of them. Sent them to the BBC, and then after 2 weeks, I rang up, and they said, what was their name? They said, oh, Louise has gone on maternity leave. And I said, oh, right, okay, who's looking after it? Well, no, when she comes back, she'll pick it up. And I said, what? How long is she off for maternity leave? And she was off for months. And so getting approvals isn't always as straightforward. So we have to get that approved now. We have to get the radiator detail added. We then got to get
and more. Also JCB are waiting to give us comments as well.
Yeah, JCB, and we got to get JCB will say yes, but then they want a full color sample. But actually looks quite good. You know, the track, you know,
it's been announced for a while, so it's nice that we can actually show something solid in front of us now. So you know it is in development and it's on its way, you know.
It is real, yeah.
Thank you for some more orders we've had. Barry West, Mark Harkness, David Norris, Mark Nathan, Steve Pearsall, Greg Smith. There's a few orders in there for our bargain boxes. I don't know whether everyone's familiar with our bargain boxes. These are, so as you're probably all familiar with some of our bundles we were putting together, what we found is that sometimes for some people it's a little bit much to spend. So we thought we'd add in sort of like a budget option. It's £20. It's a set 5 items. Well, it's randomly selected, but you know you're guaranteed 5 items. And it's good value for money, and it's a good way, it's a good gift, and it's a good way of starting your collection. But it's just something fun. We enjoy doing them because they're fun, you know. It's exciting when, you know, people enjoy getting a box and they don't know what they're getting. So it's just £20. You'll find those on the website under the bundles. Don't forget, it's free shipping tonight using the code at the bottom there, Oxford Live. And you're going to be entered into a draw at the end of this live, which we'll do at the end, where we'll announce who wins a collector's box.
Brilliant, isn't it? Do you know, isn't it strange? Because when Oxford started in 1993, we didn't even have a website then because they didn't really exist. And I always remember I actually wrote the first website in the late 90s, and people couldn't believe it because and you can check it, there's historic checks of the website. In the year 2000, you could actually buy products off the Oxford website. The only stupid thing was, when you look back, is all you did is you typed in your credit card number and all your expiry date, because they didn't have that one, and you just emailed it through. There was no security or anything.
So we've got Craig Hodge says, if I win the Euro Millions tonight, you can have the 5 million. If you can, design and make an Austin A40 Countryman, my dad's first car.
Yeah, but hang on, if he wins tonight, he's going to get more than 5 million, isn't he?
I don't know, what is...
I don't know. I don't want to
We want the lot, really.
Yeah, we don't really short change to it. You know, if you're going to give the money, give the money.
Alan says, my granddaughter comes to play trains, but spends most of her time rearranging my Oxford models on my layout. She loves them. We enjoyed having that. We had a layout at the recent Swansea Railway Modelers Group. My dad's recently had his own layout made, so we took that. We borrowed it. So we took that, and you know, it's crazy to see all the kids coming up, and they want to have a go on the layout. They want to move the cars around. Thank you for the order. We did another bargain box order. Judith Ward, and an order from Michael Kerrigan. We've got can Oxford Diecast create an Austin A30 or A35? Lloyd Thomas.
Yeah.
We'll add them to the list.
Yeah.
There's a big list, but we'll add them to it.
Yeah.
What's the best seller at the moment? I'm wanting to complete my layout with some more modern cars. What about modern cars? Where's that 3-piece set I had?
It's under there. It's under there. They're doing quite well there.
Yeah, they're doing. Oh, and we got lots of different colours coming through.
So
oh, sorry.
Just doing the drop test. That one passed there. Yeah, this is the Range Rover, the latest Range Rover. And that's the thing is, people think I am nuts, which I presume I am actually, but I always think of things in 1s, 3s, and 5s, because you have a single thing on its own, and then you have a 3-piece set. And if you look at that, there you got the 3 new Defenders. I called them Range Rovers, didn't I? It's the 3 new Defenders there. And what I like is the fact that we do have, you know, years ago, what would happen, you'd have one Defender shape and that would be it. But I love the way that we have the different, you know, alloy wheels. You know, even if you look on the side there, you can see this one's got I don't actually know what it's for in real life, but it's a box on the side, and this one's got the roof on it, look. And then this one's different, this one's different. And even if you look at the rears, you'll see differences there as well.
And this 3-piece set we're offering tonight for £20.
Why?
It's normally £25.95, but we're offering it for £20. It's a special offer.
I don't, you know, like I will choose my word. I work very hard. I actually designed these.
A lot of people are here for the special offers, not just to see you.
I thought, isn't it a date out with me or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
A date out with me.
I tell you what is a good seller, though. I know it's not modern, though. It's the Invacar. I'm surprised by that. Are you?
Yeah.
Because we've just had to order more of them in because so many people didn't manage to get their hands on the first batch.
But that's what's so fun working here is you suddenly have those moments where and the thing is we take forever. It's like the JCB7. I can't. Do you know that was measured up? I can't. Must be 8 years ago we measured it.
Yeah.
Because we do things so far ahead, and then they sit here, and then we decide to do something else. But the Invacar was a bit like what are random things that people like to see on railway layouts, and the Invacar is a sort of, you know, a random sort of thing. And I remember them when I used to do my paper round, seeing them. Yeah, so that's quite random.
Steve says, do you ever do models from the Facebook wish list? We do look at the Facebook wish list, but like my dad just said, like sometimes we've got things planned for the next couple of years, you know, and we'll never please everyone, will we?
No.
So some of the new ones we've got on this release, we've got the Bond Bug. That one's been asked for many years, right?
Yeah.
And also I noticed the comment, I've missed it, but I noticed a comment, someone saying the Ford Transit 2 and Ford Transit Mark 4 is kind of bridging that gap.
So think what we did, one Transit version, 1, 3, and what I call 5. Ford called them something different. We think you do 1, 3, and 5, and now we're doing 2 and 4. So at some stage, we will have a 5-piece set, which, you know, a 5-piece white van set, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
So someone on Facebook says, let me just see if I can find out who their name is. They've said, I ask Eloise this probably every time, but the History of Aviation range is not only brilliant value, but it's up there with the best in aviation diecast. Are there any plans to go again with this, with some British aircrafts that have never been done in diecast, like the Seafire, Firefly, and Hudson? Pretty please.
We have got
Mark Stringer.
We have got some on the back burner. The thing is with Aviation Archive, they take a lot of work to produce, and they're quite expensive.
Just turning it
for tooling, and they can be niche as well, which means you want to do them to cover. It's a bit like the Healy Tickford at 43rd scale. Yeah. You know, it's something you want to do, and you actually know in your heart that you're not going to make a lot of money because, you know, when you go to Germany and talk about the Healy Tickford, they're not interested. If you go to Germany and talk about a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, they'll go, oh, Rolls-Royce, I'll have 12 of those or something. And so with with some of that, we don't call it, what do we call it here?
History of flight.
History of flight, yeah. I was going to call it aviation. With the history of flight, we have got things, but I'd be wrong to promise you there was something on the, you know, immediate horizon. But, you know, watch this space. Watch this space.
Jam Ford says, I'm genuinely enjoying hearing Taft's recollections from the early days of Oxford Diecast and before. Can we have a monthly live stream called Taft's Story Time, please? I am not kidding.
I bore you to sleep. I used to tell the girls when they were young stories every night, and they had to be a different story, which is why I could go on for days just telling. I've got so many stories about the factory and what an amazing journey it was in the early years, and all of the things that happened, and then you know, even in my life, I built products for so many other companies, and in the 90s I would build products for other companies. They were great, and when their ranges took off, they wouldn't want to know you. They'd be saying, oh no, we're doing it ourselves now. And yeah, there's a few brands out there that came and went, because when they think they can do it themselves, they normally fail. which is the enjoyable part.
Thanks for your orders. They're all coming in. We've got Stephen Nolan, thank you. Nigel Sanders, Francis Duffy, Roy Bradley, and Nick Robinson. Oh, and another one's just come in as I was speaking there. Who's it going to be? Stephen Morrison. So thank you for all your orders. Don't forget to take advantage of the free shipping code, which is Oxford Live. Let's have a look now. Lloyd Thomas says he's going to go in the Oxford Diecast website. I'm going to get a Mercedes Sprinter, Welsh Ambulance, and an Aston Martin DB12. Wow. Let me move to the Facebook comments because some of them I can't see the names.
While I was in China industry, while I was in China a couple of months ago, I took the time to take across my laptop and I had the YouTube link for the Metoy factory here in the 60s. And so if you do a Google Metoy factory 60s, there's a YouTube link which shows the Metoy factory. And what I found funny and they found strange is some of the processes that they do today still in the factories in China are exactly the same as what we were doing in Forest Park in Swansea in the 1960s and 70s, which I find hilarious.
So I always get asked this: modern tippers and modern lorries.
Yeah.
What's the position for us? Modern. We do modern.
Well, what tends to happen? You do a modern one. You do something modern. It's a bit like if you take these Defenders here, is that they're new. They're new. I mean, not new as models, but they're new as vehicles, and people haven't had the experiences. Whereas when you do something that's old, it could have been owned by many different companies or many, and so more people tend to do it. But we do. It's a bit like we did the Shelvoke and Drury dust cart. I did a blog on it. We did it years ago. It sold okay, but very slowly. And I always wanted to do a modern dust cart. And of course, we've now got the Dennis Eagle.
Yes. Which everyone seems very excited for. And we've just announced the second livery as well.
Have we?
I don't know how to say it, but you know which
I know,
one I mean.
Violia.
This one here. We've just announced that second livery there.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it. Do you know how you say it? Violia.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sounds like Welsh to me. Is it Welsh? Look, have you seen that F88? Look at that F88. So that cat, I remember looking at that, the artwork on that cab, I don't know, a year or so ago. So that'll be great when it comes out. I look forward to that. So
we've got someone saying, why is there not much random selection on the emergency bundle? They had two the same. If you email into customer service at oxforddiecast.co.uk, we'll sort that out for you. Somebody asked earlier, what are you doing? I've lost the comment though, because it's going too fast. Somebody asked earlier, what are you doing now? Are you getting back more involved with Oxford, or are you...
Well, I would if by popular demand. Eloise doesn't listen to me. I mean, so...
Are you with Hornby, people are asking, or,
I'm the chairman of Hornby, but that I have to do less hours now.
The thing is that
I'll be 50 soon.
Thing is, Taft's got all the historical stories, so I wanted to bring him here tonight so that for our 30th celebration, which I haven't invited you to, but next week we're having in the warehouse. We're having like a food and cake and stuff like that. But if you're free, you can come down.
I've been looking at the website as well, because I said earlier I'm a bit of a geek, and I've been playing around with putting more information on there and loading up. I've got all these thousands of car brochures, so I started uploading them to some of the web pages. But I think we've got to change the web a bit, because it doesn't sort of allow it to go up nicely. It's sort of great for one or two pictures, but so I started loading up Austin. yeah, I love this. I got the Maestro. Is it the Maestro? Yeah, I got Maestro. I had the press launch pack for the Maestro, which is a ring binder. It had all these pictures, and I put it up as 76 MST003, Black Maestro, and Eloise is. Do you know how the website works now?
I wasn't doing. I was going to do something else. But what are you?
MST003.
Yeah.
And if you look, oh no, perhaps. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
Well, they can't see it.
No, they can't see it.
But if you go on the website,
if you went on the MS,
I'll hold this up though. Look,
it's
all
got,
those images.
So I've been like trying to give a little bit more information and also share, because this was the press pack for the Maestro when it came out, and as I say, it was a ring binder, and it had articles in it, but it was quite nice because it was done in the old way. It's all it's like typed and things like that. But I could have shared the whole pack, but it would have been hundreds of pages. And I got one on the Ford Transit as well.
Right, we're just gonna so that Taff doesn't waffle on the whole evening. I'm just going to, do what I do best, which is give you all the best offers. So I'm going to remind myself what the next offer is. Bear with me.
Can I just, while you're doing that?
No, you can't. No, I'm busy. Right. So we've got this Aston Martin here. These live offers are only available while we are live. This is 1/43 scale. I wanted to make sure I tried to include everybody in. So if you were interested in getting a model for a good price this evening.
How much is that one?
Normally this one is
£3,000.
I don't know how much it normally is.
I think it's $24.95, isn't it?
My laptop's gone off.
Is it $24.95? Eloise's laptop has gone off, but I think
okay.
I think normally this is $24.95.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it for £20.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's got quite a nice interior in it. I say quite a nice. It's a very nice interior, but it got. I mean, what people find strange with me as well is that I don't actually own a car, because I got fed up with it. I had a car and it sat in the drive, and I never used to drive it. So I've now spent the last 3 years without a car. But if I had a car, I wouldn't. I'm looking at this now and thinking, how practical? Watch it. How practical is an Aston Martin when I'm going down to Lidl and filling up my boot with Lidl bags? I don't think it is, but I mean that is quite good value.
You're going to have to bear with me a sec, guys.
Yeah.
The plug's not working, so I need to plug my laptop back in.
Apparently the plug is not working, so it hasn't been charging. So we're not seeing some of the messages, but we'll see them shortly.
They're on my phone in front of you there. You can look at some.
All right, okay. Will you do the Plaxton Prestige Coach in one like the 148?
I think he means NPE, Plaxton. Is it Elite?
Is it a Plaxton Elite? It's just honestly, it's just trying to keep a balance on what you do, and you can only do so much. I mean, it's like all things. If we've chosen them at a scale, it's because we like them and want to do them. So we would like to do them at different scales, but it's just a case of, as soon as you do it, the tooling for that Aston Martin there, the one I just had, that, if you imagine, the tooling for that cost about £28,000 just for that one vehicle. And then I'm not sure on Aston Martin at 76 scale, we did three at 76 scale. I think it was the DB2, the DB4 Zagato at 76 scale, and one other, and I can't.
We do get a lot of comments of people saying, well, you've done it at this scale, so it would just be easy for you to take it down or take it up. But it's the tooling cost, isn't it, that's involved?
Yeah, but it's just totally different. I mean, the
detail that's in each scale.
If you look at that end scale there, the construction of the shape people say, well, it's the same shape. It isn't the same shape. As soon as you take it down in scale, the shape changes because of the way the detail is scaled down. So, and also the construction of it. You know, you won't have as much componentry in an N scale as you would in a 43rd scale. If you take it to the extreme, you know, if you have, you know, in my other life we have a brand called Pocker, and we just did a Lotus 72, and it's about 600 or 700 pounds. There's something like 600 components. I think it's a huge amount of components. Well, you know, if you're going to scale it down, if you take an N scale, you may have got 5 or 6 components. And in order to make it efficient in manufacture, what you've got to do is do them in batches as well. Hence the reason why you've got these, and Ford, you know, people like Fords. So
okay, you know. I've got my laptop back up and running. So this Aston Martin is now listed for £20. If you go on the website, there's a little bar that says live, and you can go in there and you can see some of the items that we're dropping the price on just as a special offer to celebrate our 30th anniversary. Let's see if I can get some more of these comments up. Let's see now. Oh, it's just taking a bit of time to load.
Just while she's doing that, I just, you know, like there's that Mazda we talked about, you know, Japanese cars. There's an MX-5, and I know someone in my world who, when he sees a Mazda and it's an MX-5, will get very, very excited. But you know, so we do Japanese cars. It's just that they're not as popular. As you know, what's going to sell better, the Bond bug or the Mazda? I think the Bond bug. I'm sure it'll be the Bond bug. I'm taking the time here as well to look, because I am not absolutely sure what has been announced. So as I'm
Alton says the Transit Mark II, Bedford CF, Volvo F88, and Ford County, or the Ford County tractor as well.
Yes, I can see that you've announced that.
Delighted to see he says they're all welcome additions to the range. Delighted to see the vintage T Tours Route Master. Did you see that one?
The what one?
Vintage T Tours.
So yeah, I say you've got you. I don't know where.
No, go back. There, that one.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? That's good. Actually, is that me there on the back? No, it looks like an old man sitting down on the back. Which
Paul Bilby says the Bond bug looks nice.
Yeah, you know, Adrienne, who works for us, and Adrienne's a fantastic person, and she's been in the industry a long time. God bless her. And I'm looking here at Nostin Maestro AA, and I tell you what, you know, when I saw it, I thought, I've never seen one of those before, but I've no doubt that will have existed, because Adrienne is meticulous on making sure that we do accurate scale models. And one of the things she always said, and her dad, Don, who I knew when I was young, he did a lot of the packaging for Corgi. So Adrienne's got diecast through her blood as well. And she always said to me, look, all people want, Lyndon, stop. She more or less said, can you please shut up, Lyndon? All people want is accurate scale models. You know, that's what people want. They want accurate scale models. And seeing that Austin Maestro in an AA livery, you know, you can't imagine it's probably Austin Maestro were the ones breaking down, weren't they? So it's probably going out to solve its own depends.
What is your honest opinion on the Code 3 models that people do with your products? Well, I love it. I love seeing it, but as long as it's not something we're doing.
Well, funnily enough, earlier, I don't know why I did it. Anyway, I got to YouTube, and there was a chap, and he was weathering up one of the transit vans, and he'd taken, I can't think which one it was, but it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love it. I applaud
It's
it.
amazing what people do with the lights and some of the
That's
fire
what I was
engines.
going to say
things
to you,
like
with
that.
the lights and all of that. Someone said, "Oh, why don't you do that yourself?" Well, these guys are skilled guys at doing it. They're, good on them.
And it's part of the hobby as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but
it's
good
part
on
of the
them.
hobby.
What do we want to do? Do you want us spending our time getting lights in and then not getting products through? So, in fact, I wish we had closer contact sometimes with them, because I spoke to one in Worley. Worley's on. Is Worley on?
Worley's November, yeah,
Yeah.
Worley show.
I spoke to someone in Worley years ago, and he said a few things like, could he just be updated in advance on what we were doing so he could prepare? And I always think, yeah, well, why don't we do that? And, see fire engines. Well, it's not a new fire engine, so he'll be able to do it. But
Yeah.
we should try and do that.
It is amazing when you see what people can do, Thanks for some of the orders coming through. Robert Preston, Patrick Graham Lee, Angus McKay, Craig Hodge, Lee Parsons, Paul Nicholas. Everyone's taking advantage of the free shipping code and some of the offers we've got tonight on the website. So if you just head over and click live, then you will see some of the offers we've got going on. I'm going to just do another one for you while we're here. We're going to do this. So do you want to take that one out?
I don't even know what it is.
You know what that is. You'll know when you open it. And
It's
this
a container.
one. Yeah,
Container.
so
Yeah.
this one, I love this one. And I don't always know if people know that this connects.
I know how this works because I did this.
You know how it works because you designed it.
This comes up like this, right? And the arm does go up like that. Now, I remember at the time talking to the tool makers, and they said, "Oh, does it have to do all this?" And I said, "Yep, it has to do that." And I said, "And what's more, this bit here on the top," and I'm hoping this all works now. This has to pull out and not be broken. So it's slightly different material. And that then, gosh, I can't remember.
It does, it clips into the little...
Yeah, hold on, I'll just do it now.
You said you knew how to do it.
Yeah, but I haven't done it for years. I haven't done it for years. This then clips in. Oh, well.
He's struggling.
Nah, I'm getting it. If I'd had practice, I would have been better. But
I should have warned you. Well, anyway, while he puts that together, oh, there we are.
It clips on like that, which I think is amazing.
And we've got plenty of other containers as well. So lots of people do like layouts where it's.
Can I also say, sorry,
yeah.
I know, but also I wasn't satisfied. I wanted this to, because this moves forward. And when I was speaking to the chap by the dockside with
I
this,
didn't know that.
the Coney crates, yeah. The reason this moves like forward, the cab, this cab here, the reason it moves forward is because of the visibility. So you've got to, he's got to be able to see all around, and one presumes he's, I don't know, loading on a ship or something, or something like that. And so yeah, that's the Coney crate. And the other thing is, I'm sure the wheels, the wheels move as well on that.
So we're doing tonight this Coney crane stacker with the pallet for £25 for the two items together.
This container also fits onto
the, is it the combi trailer?
The combi trailer, that
yeah.
fits onto the combi trailer.
We do one, I think it might be sold out though, but we do a trailer with the container on the back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it does fit on there.
It does fit on there, and without me checking as well, I'm sure I tried to make that combi trailer fit with some other company's container. But look, it works like that, look.
It's a great addition to your collection. So Leon says he didn't know the cab moved either.
Didn't he know? Well, this is a 40-foot container, right? And show how sad I am. That in a 40-foot container, you fit 58 cubic meters, 58 and a half. Now, I'm going to ask Eloise, if it was a 20-foot container, how many CBM are in a 20-foot?
Is it 28?
28. If it was a high cube, and a high cube...
30.
No, a high cube. a 40-foot high
Oh,
cube
40-foot high cube.
is 64 CBN.
Can you believe that I just got that right?
It's
Were you surprised?
I am a bit surprised because you don't normally listen. But I know, you know, when you're sort of like, what you got to do is be efficient with shipping products, which, you know, when the, when COVID came, those container costs went through the roof. So back before COVID, it cost about £2,500, £3,000 for a container, 40 foot. COVID came, £15,000.
Oh, it was painful, wasn't it? I remember the conversation, and I said to you, what are we going to do? And you said, we just got to keep on going.
Yeah.
We just got to keep on pushing through it.
Yeah, we just got
and just take it on the chin.
Yeah.
Which we did, didn't we?
We did, yeah. And in a way, you know, you don't sort of complain about it, but what it means is you take it on the chin, you lose some money, but you what it means is you cut back on tooling. You know, you don't make as much tooling during that period.
And that's kind of where we were at sort of like last year, was that we were facing the consequences of that, weren't we? And it was a case of now everyone's saying like, where's this and where's that and where's this? And we're building momentum now, and we're bringing things, and we're seeing all these things coming through, which is lovely.
I mean, I know as well, I'm looking here at the release program, and I can see 87 scale American cars. And some people say, why are you doing 87 scale American cars? Well, we sell a lot of them.
We do.
We sell a lot of them. And interestingly, when Rod Stewart, who, as you know, he's a train fanatic, he's got a layout. I've never met him. He probably wants to do a song with me or something like that. I don't know. Like, what's his song? Maggie.
Don't ask me.
Maggie. No,
I'm too young.
Are sailing.
I'm too young for this music.
But anyway, when he was in Australia sometime earlier this year, he went into a model shop and he came out. And what did he have from that Australian model shop? He had 87 scale American cars. Can you believe that? We didn't get any publicity because I could see they were 87 scale American cars. The shopkeeper there knew they were 87 scale Oxford American cars, but the world didn't. I didn't see a peak of sales, you know.
Just Daniel Milburn says, just ordered the 76 Discovery 2. Would you ever consider doing a 176 Aston DB5?
There's never, is there? I mean, I love Aston Martin. That's what I was saying. I think now he's said that.
Let's write that one down. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, I would. The trouble is, you're getting. I'd probably just do it as a DB5 though, because if you did, so this will absolutely bore you to death now. So get ready now to fall asleep. But the James Bond Corgi that came out in 1964, which was the C261. I don't know if everyone knows this, but that first Corgi, where there was 4 million made, just under 4 million, actually had a DB4 back. So it was a DB5, but it had a DB4 back. And it was because Meta Corgi had made the DB4, and they did some sort of, initially Aston Martin showed something with a DB4 back. And then actually the correct cars are DB5 back, which meant that when the tooling got all smashed up over 4 years, they then came out with the 270, which is a slightly bigger, well, I say slightly bigger, I think they call it 138 scale. And that had the correct back to it. And the DB5, the later one, had the wheel slashers on it and the twirling number plates, whereas the first ones didn't. Is that your
story finished? Because we lost a few followers there.
Yeah, that was it. That was the DB. So the DB5, yeah, we'll pull that one up the list. Let's have a look.
Any plans? Marty says, Marty, we're familiar with you. Any plans for more Irish trucks and buses? More Irish. So we did that coach that's just come back in, didn't we? The IR6.
Can I just say that they say, what am I doing? The other day, about a couple of weeks ago, I was on the train and I looked at that coach and I didn't like the picture on the website. And so I absolutely went
I
through.
took that.
I know it's useless. So I went through and I cleaned it all up and made it look nice. So,
But the question is, any more Irish?
I don't know. You don't listen to what I do. You do it.
I take, because you're a lot older than me, I take your advice on what's best.
Some people say, I was at the show the other day and they said, is your sister there? And I said, what do you mean sister? Eloise. Some of them think we're brother and sister.
Rubbish. Right, so I put a couple of offers on. I just want to thank people for some of their orders. I've put a couple more offers, which I'll run through now. We've had a few orders though for this one, now that you've probably explained what it's all about.
Yeah.
But we've had orders from Alan Hughes, Craig Loftus, Mark Nathan. Oh, I've just had one come through as I'm talking again. Martin Smith, I think you've just ordered that one as well. Mark Nathan, Chris Taylor, Judith Ward, Barry Fitzpatrick, Philip Cotto. Quite a few orders for our bargain box as well, which is the £20 5-piece mystery bundle, shall we say. Is there any chance, Martin Bunning says, hello, is there any chance of a Bedford MJ or MK on the horizon?
Ooh, I don't know.
Maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
What we'll do is we'll go through the comments and we'll add them to all to our list.
That wasn't a no, was it?
A Scania long line from Bruce Cleryhugh.
Ooh, Scania long line. I have to sort of remind myself on.
Right, you go and remind yourself. While you're doing that, I'm going to tell people what my next offer is. So if you head to the website and you click on the live button at the top, you will see some of our offers. And I thought I'd add this one in because, believe it or not, we're around the corner from Christmas. It is middle of September, and before you know it, and this one always is our bestseller, one of our best sellers at Christmas, because it's a Coca-Cola truck. And it's big, it's a 1/50th scale, and we have got this on offer tonight for £18. £18 for a 1/50th scale Coca-Cola truck. So I just thought if you wanted to get your Christmas orders in, you could do that. Let me just check. I have put it for £18 now. So,
well, I'm just looking at if I'm reading this right on these Scania long lines.
I have.
The cabs look bigger than my house. Look, long line. Look.
God, yeah, that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive.
What era is that?
I can't even remember.
Looks a bit tea-caddy at the front, doesn't it?
Well, it is. I think it is. I don't. I can't ever remember seeing one, but it is like.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's this one. If we're looking at it right, is a tea cab at the front, and then it's got, like I say, it's bigger than my house.
Yeah, it's very long. It's a long line. That's why it's called a long line.
Would you ever Can you ever imagine living in a container?
What, like a done out one?
Yeah.
Is that what is coming for me next?
Yeah.
You did want a van, didn't you? You considered having a done up like Transit or something. Or was it VW?
I was thinking of a VW, then I didn't, and then I don't know.
Maybe in the future.
I said recently, if someone, I don't know, I want a car that I don't have to worry about. But if it's a brand new car, I think, well, I'm not sure of the shape. And as I'm talking now, hi Mark, Ireland Rugby, you could scrape through. You could just scrape through.
What's he messaged you?
Mark, yeah.
Oh.
Mark and me always message each other
about the rugby.
Is
he on the live?
He's just texted me now. He says that.
You're looking good.
He said, "Hi, look, I'll read what he says. Hi, Linda. You seem to look younger. What have you done? Have you been running, or something like that? You're absolutely amazing."
He's stuttering a bit.
I'm trying to read with the thing. You're absolutely amazing. You and your sister there doing this tonight.
Very funny. So we've got Michael Norriger says, hi, what is in the future for TT scale? We need it for our New Zealand rail layouts. Well, we have just tonight announced some new tooling. If you go on our Facebook page, It's on the last page. There's 4 new toolings. I think there's a bus, a mini, a tractor, and one more, and a VW.
Yeah.
And that's our new tooling. So we've already released our first 6, and then we've got another 5 new liveries on that batch of tooling that's due out, I think, later on this year. And then we've just announced 4 new toolings. So
how is New Zealand? Is I did watch the rugby against France. Sorry, won't say anymore. But I'm not sure if France are going to win. Do you know what I mean? I watched them last night.
I don't watch rugby.
They didn't play very well.
I'm too busy working.
Sorry. No, I'll get on with them.
Philip Cottle, hi, just placed an order. Thank you for the great quality vehicles you produce. How about producing, I think that's meant to say, refuse wagons from the 70s, like Bedford and a skip lorry? Keep up the good work.
I think, do you know, I would like to do a skip lorry. And I'm going to see how this refuse lorry goes now.
Yeah.
Because it could be a load of rubbish.
Is there any possibility of making spare? I missed that one. Oh God, the dad jokes. Do you? Oh, where was that comment gone? Any plans to produce? No, where was the one I just did? Is there a possibility of making spare parts available to buy in the future? We'd probably need a whole new warehouse to fit all the spare parts.
What? Yeah, but
we do our best. So
when
if you're looking for a part, we can try and locate it.
Yeah, but someone said that. I remember saying it years ago. Why don't you do spare tires? Well, if you knew how many tires we do, every time the factory says they need to make a new tire, I said we've got to have got a tire that fits. We must have got a tire. And then you go through it and think, no, we haven't, because it's a military and it's got a different tread on it, and we end up having to do it. There was one recently again. We had to do another tire recently. I can't remember. It's for the new Range Rovers, wasn't it? We did new tires for those. It's like that Raptor now. The Raptor, there's nothing like that. So, we're going to make another mold for it.
Any plans to produce, who's this now? Andy Graves, any plans to produce in 1/64 scale to move into the model car collecting? Some very complex models being produced in China.
Yeah, there are a lot. They're quite expensive as well, aren't they? It's strange as well with 1/64th. I was in the Hong Kong Toy Fair about 15 years ago, and this chap had a stand, and he had a box, and it was about this big, and he was saying about the size of this, and he said, and on the box it said 1/43rd scale truck. And I said, that's not a 1/43rd scale truck. I said, that's more like a 1/76 scale. He said, no, it's 1/43rd. I said, no, it's not. He said, no, it's not. It's the size of the box. I said, it's nothing to do with the size of the box. So 1/64th is, it's an interesting area, and I know I've got quite a lot of friends and like True Scale Miniatures and people like that. There's a lot of people in it, but strangely, our products sell quite well in Hong Kong. So it used to be, which was disappointing. They used to HMV in Hong Kong used to sell them, and then they closed overnight, didn't they?
Sorry, the free shipping code is Oxford Live. That'll give you free shipping in the UK. So I think we've got to get on to the big burning question that I get asked every show I do. We've been asked a couple of times. I've sort of scrolled straight past it because I knew we were coming to it. But I got told that COVID slowed Oxford Rail down. But Big H told me no plans to do Oxford Rail J26. It's very confusing.
Who's Big H?
I don't know.
Big H.
Big H, I don't know.
We definitely are, because...
Can you let us know what's happening on Oxford Rail? The crane, everyone's asked about the crane.
So the first thing we got to get through is this boiler on the
J26,
which I was only picking up on a few days ago. So that's all happening.
It's moving.
As far as the crane is concerned, it's been slow, and it's been slow partly because we talked about container costs, and we just were focusing on just trying to keep everyone as happy as we can. And we're now more focused, and I say I got a little bit more time now. We're now more focused on looking at Oxford Rail for the future. So,
Yeah.
you know, the
The
crane,
crane is still in our projections.
it's still, the
It,
cab's
it
been
may
done.
it may have been a little bit paused, but as soon as so we can say that the J26 we are moving on it. There
Yeah.
is movement on it, and we are developing it actively. And then as soon as we get through that project, you know, I think people forget that we are just a relatively small family company. There isn't that many of us, and with all the development of other things and shows and all that, sometimes we have to make a decision what needs to sit on the back burner. And in COVID, it was the crane. But we are totally aware of how much of a success it will be. We haven't cancelled it in any way, shape, or form.
No, it'll happen.
There's all rumours going around that, you know, since the buyout with Hornby that, it's no more, but Oxford Rail is no more. But it's not. We are still working independently, and we're going to continue development with that crane.
Yeah, we definitely
Because we know it's wanted, but it's a big project. It's not a small one, and we want to get it right as well. So,
and you know, you say a family company. My wife is in. I wasn't invited, but she's in Portugal at the moment with our youngest Sheena and Yorgos. He'd love Yorgos. He's 2, and all he does is play with toy cars. But the point is,
toy ones, not ours.
She's on holiday in Portugal doing her emails for Oxford Diecast.
She is actually. She's been putting orders in every morning. She gets up, she puts her orders in.
Time for breakfast. Get those orders in.
Someone said, does making Rolls-Royce and Bentley models come with copyright issues?
Well, we have licensing.
Yeah. So
Rolls-Royce we'd love to do more with Rolls-Royce. Only
it's tricky, isn't it?
It's a licensing complex situation with it's something like somebody owns the Rolls-Royce trademark, and it's just it's part of BMW, and it's just really, really complicated. And they're lovely people, but it's just very hard to do it. But we would like to do more. Why don't we have a Rolls-Royce month next month?
Could do.
Yeah?
Yeah, we could do that.
A Rolls-Royce month. There are a few other Rolls-Royces I've got.
Yeah, you could do like a blog for me.
Oh.
I get him to write a blog for me every month.
I did.
Fernando, greetings from Lima, Peru.
Lima, Peru.
Don't try and do a Peruvian accent.
I don't do
now,
Peruvian accent, but I do say hablo español un poco, trabajé en España in the 1980s.
Okay, next comment. Carl Darley, Taff, having read your comments about the new rubbish truck, you stated there was only one other rubbish truck, which was the Shelvook and Drury one, but you forgot about the mini ones he bought out. Remember, one was Middlesbrough Council.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We did the Scammell Scarabs.
Scammell Scarabs.
You're right. You're right.
Thanks, Carl, for reminding us.
You know, I forgot about that one. And that was interesting. That was easier. But I said, you know, the rubbish truck, and it's in that blog I wrote, was literally a scrapyard with the back. And there's a picture of it. That's the actual picture of the rubbish truck. And then, I don't know, you probably haven't even read the blog, but then having done it all, this chap then said he bought one and was going to do it up, and could we give him any drawings that we had, and we'd had to do all the measurements, and he said, oh, thank you very much, that helps me to do. And then he rebuilt one, and if we'd waited for that in the first place, it would have been easier.
I know. Someone mentioned about those Hong Kong police models, and they said that can we not do a bundle of those? But I think they were specials, right?
Yeah, we did loads of them.
Yeah.
But we did about 15 or 20. I can't remember. But we don't have. Sometimes we don't. It's like you know, I saw this thing you did on, what do you call it? Stock repatriation.
Oh, from the USA, yeah.
So we have stock holdings sometimes in different parts of the world. And then we decided recently to try and clear it all up. And, you find that somebody has randomly ordered, like, the guy from Auf Wiedersehen Pet, Barry's.
Yeah, actually.
HA, isn't it?
Yeah, HA.
You found that there was some in, I don't know where they were, I can't think where they were. But anyway, there was some.
There
I
was
think-
only about 4 pieces.
And I think they'd ordered them by mistake, to be honest. So anyway, we asked it. So anyway, we brought them back to the UK, and there's a whole list on the website.
A lot of it is gone now.
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of it's gone. But those Bedfords, we realised that there were so many people asking for them. We didn't realise how much demand there was that I've decided to remake them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've been inundated with calls and emails, just asking for that one.
In
Bedford.
fairness,
Is it a Vie de Saint Pet? Is
I'd
it?
be the same. Yeah. In fairness, there was a chap who used to beg me and ring me. Not ring me, email me. I used to feel terrible. But I used to say, no, I'm not going to remake it. I'm not going to remake it because.
Well, now's his chance.
Yeah, I think you know, if I'd been in charge, I would have already done it years ago.
Yeah, so it's coming. We're having lots of new orders coming in. We've got people taking advantage of the offers and the bundles, bargain bundles. We've got Francis Duffy, James Wright, Chris Brown, T. Cook, Keith Weblin, Simon Woods, Lawrence Burgess, Martin Smith, Alan Hughes.
Wow.
Lots of orders coming in.
So are you going to get these packed before this evening?
Yeah, I'm going to stay all night packing these orders.
I'm going back home for a glass of wine.
No, I certainly won't be packing them all evening. I think it's nice we'll do more packing ones, but I think it's nice just to chat. But I think within the next like half an hour, we're sort of going to announce our mega competition that we've got.
I've heard you talking about this, but I have to say I get bored. So
I think you're gonna shout at me. So when we were sitting down as a team in the office and trying to, when I say a team, it's about 3 of us, we're trying to work out what can we do to celebrate our anniversary. So we've decided that we're having a bit of cake and some food in the warehouse because I need to thank all the staff. For all, some of them. How long has Frankie been here?
When is that then?
Tuesday. Welcome to come. How long's Frankie been here for?
100 years.
Frankie's been here since way back when. So, and he's watched us develop over the time. So
I think Dodie was here first.
Dodie was here first. You're right, actually, yeah. And then Frankie.
Yeah.
So some of them have been with us since I was 17.
17, which was about 40 years ago.
So, wasn't. So we were up to 20 years
She looks 57.
So, we are doing a little, but then I thought, what can we do for the people, at home who like.
So what are you going to do then?
So.
All right, you announce it. Yeah.
I will announce it. I will announce it now. Let's just go for it.
Is it going to cost me any money?
Not from directly from your pocket, no. So we are going to give one person the chance to win £500 worth of Oxford Diecast models. £500. Which will, if you're building a layout, if you want to sort out all your Christmas presents, it will probably completely sort you out entirely. And it's one simple question you have to answer.
Go on, okay. Right, go on then.
So if you head to the website...
I can take that then.
No, anyone associated with Oxford Diecast can't enter.
Technically, I'm not contracted.
You're right.
I don't get paid any money for this, let's be sure.
You're not getting paid for anything, not even this evening. If you go on the website, it says mega competition, click here to enter. And then there's a question that you have to answer. Now, it's a very tricky one. It says... Lyndon Davis, so it's about you, has made a significant mark in the die-casting industry. However, he has also been recognised by a different name for a considerable amount of
Everyone's
time.
going to know that.
A name that reflects his Welsh hometown. Can you identify this name?
And no rude answers.
No rude answers. Yeah.
No swear.
I didn't want to make it too hard. I want people...
They're not that. They're all going to get that.
Well, you'd be surprised when we did the what they called the anagram ones. I thought
there was. I did. She asked me to do one, and I did it. And I wouldn't. When I did it, I forgot it. I couldn't work out what it was. I did it. My mum used to teach me to solve an anagram. You always put them in a circle. So I took whatever these word was and put it in a circle, and mixed it all up, and then I couldn't work out what it was.
But I did. First one was too easy. Second one was too hard. So I just thought, like, it's not really about making it difficult. It's about giving somebody the opportunity.
What she's really saying is a lot of you lot aren't that bright, so she's made it very simple for you.
No,
No. Which I think is terribly
So
rude.
just enter your details.
I would never. I think it's awfully rude of you.
And what we're going to do at the end of this month, we're going to do a little roundup video on YouTube. I haven't told you this bit either. Where we're just going to answer any follow-up questions, just have a chat about what we think we've achieved in this last month, because we're all working really hard behind the scenes. And we're going to announce on a YouTube video the winner then. And hopefully it will make someone's day, make someone's Christmas.
It's like this postcode lottery, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They come round.
Imagine 500...
Will I be paid for that?
No. Imagine £500 of models.
Yeah.
Chris Brown, any idea when the Bedfordshire Fire Mercedes will be out?
The Bedfordshire. Have you got? I don't know.
You're going to have to wait there, and I'm going to have to look for it.
So she's going to have a look for it on the system.
David says, just wanted to say how wonderful lots of diecast models are.
Oh, thank you. It does. Do you know?
Nobody's, not you. Oh, that one. Yeah, actually, I've just had, I've got the PP in it.
It's for those of you who haven't got a clue, because Eloise is not a very good presenter. It's the Oxford Diecast Bedfordshire Fire and Rescue Service Mercedes support. And is that it there then? Oh, right. All right. So hold on. I will. So this is. One presumes this is a sample that hasn't been approved yet. But anyway.
No. It's been approved.
Oh, there you are then.
It's been approved.
Well, why if it's been approved? Why?
I know that it's missing the T. I know.
This is what it shows you. If you look at the top on the rear there, there's the T missing.
When I say approved, I mean approved with amendments.
Good job. That would have gone. She would have missed that. Good job. I saw that. So there's a T missing, which just shows you what you go through. And you may think to yourself, well, surely someone would have noticed that at the factory, but they don't tend to speak English. So they've just missed. It's on that side. I don't know if you can see this anyway,
but that's the intensity we need to look at these models sometimes, and you can so easily. It can be such an oversight. If you sorry to interrupt you again, but I don't know if you recall, we did in the 90s in the originals, we did a nice Stedford bus, and I was so intent on looking at other things that I didn't realise that Stedford was spelt wrongly, and then it went out, and the chap who'd ordered it, who was English, said, well, surely you would have noticed that, but you sometimes can't see the wood for the trees. You're so in, if you look at this one at the moment, it's got bits above the door, tiny bits of writing, badges, all sorts of bits and pieces, and you cannot sometimes see the wood for the trees. But I have to say, if I hadn't noticed that T was missing, sometimes you just doesn't. Someone said, Lyndon looks a bit like a certain DJ who does Pick of the Pops.
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Is that being rude or what?
I don't know. And someone says, I've already entered the competition. I think the answer is related to a character in Dad's Army, but from a different country.
What's that, Lyndon?
I think the answer is related to a character in Dad's Army, but from a different country.
Related to a character from Dad's Army. I'll have to have a think about that one. Do you know, though, talking about Dad's Army, I still, there's such rubbish on the TV.
Bye, Willem. Thank you.
Bye, Willem. There's such rubbish on the TV. I often find myself flicking through and finding Dad's Army on and watching Dad's Army. I know it sounds awful, but I find it hilarious.
Someone said, any jobs going in the artwork and graphics department?
Well, I'm doing that.
Until he's fired, nope.
When I say fired, I don't get paid.
Any model releases coming out this year and next year? Yeah, we've got so we have a release every month.
Yeah.
Every month now. We're back to every month now having a release. So yeah, there's still quite a lot to come
There's a
out this year.
container due, which is
5th of October.
and how many CBM are on that container?
28.
28 CBM. There's 28 CBM on that container. That container comes in like early October, is it?
Yeah, 5th, around about the 5th, yeah.
It's,
Somewhere around
you know, like you can guarantee, you can guarantee like containers that they're like ladies. They're always late.
I dread to think what you're about to say.
They always turn up late. So
I'm
with the
not
containers, you think the container's going to dock, and then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, the ship's gone to Amsterdam," and you think, "Ah."
Oh, Clifford. I don't know how to say your surname. Isom.
How do you say?
ISOM. He has
Isom, yeah.
ordered one of your containers. Can
Yeah.
you show that one off again? So this is £25.
This is the Coney. Actually, I mean, like if these were produced a little while ago, but if you were producing that today, you goodness knows what it was cost. But anyway.
Yeah, with the container as well. Show the container as well.
Well,
For £25,
I'll
you
put
get
the container back in, but there's the container there, and it is a correct container, and it's got all the detail on this. In fact, I wonder if it says the CBM on here. Do you think it's? I can't. I can't.
Do you want me to look? If you head to our website under the live section, you'll see all our offers there. It's got the kilograms, the pounds. Oh,
it won't have the CBM in there. But anyway, the point is it's very detailed, and even if you look on the back section there, and that if you take the Coney cranes itself, the Coney crane I explained earlier, the bits come out, and the container connects. And it is surprising because I'm seeing messages coming up here with people saying, well, wouldn't it have been good if you'd explained that 15 years ago when you launched it? And probably the answer to that is probably yes. But Eloise was responsible at that time for marketing.
I always get the blame. Don't forget to use the shipping code Oxford Live for free shipping to the UK. We've got Steve Pennell who's ordered. Michael Addy. What have you ordered, Michael? £70 odd. Oh,
Don't
ordered.
tell that. His wife will kill him.
You've ordered you've ordered one of the final offer. I put it on because he was waffling a bit, but we've also got this Royal Mail DAF truck here, and that's £20 this evening. So let me see if I can. And if you do the free ship as well,
yeah, so I do it.
and you're going to get a freebie. And at the end of the night tonight, we're going to choose someone to win a collector box. So don't forget to place your orders now if you're going to. As we sort of begin to wind down shortly, we want to make sure that you're entered into the draw.
There's a rugby on tonight there.
Is there?
Yeah.
What rugby is there?
I don't know, but
there's still 150 odd people watching us. So
there's
obviously
this
not that interesting.
DAF. It's a Royal Mail. So there's an interesting thing now. Eloise's face going, oh God. But when we moved out of the top of the factory in Forest Park, we went to Llansamlet, and at the time there's a Royal Mail distribution there, and they didn't need all the space, so we spent 7 years, or 4 years, 5 years actually in that distribution unit, and I used to, well, I'm sure I used to see these around then, but it's lovely. When I look at these, the trouble is when you design things is that once you've designed it and it's done, you almost never want to see it again. So I find it quite strange looking at, well, I find it strange looking at JCB because we literally measured it 7 or 8 years ago. But even seeing the Aston Martins and that Aston Martin, to be honest, we did it. And then
someone said, "Can we go on, carry on?"
We did it, and then what are we doing?
Someone just said about turning it around video so we can see the right way. So we're probably going to be on the other side now. Oh no, I've turned it around so you can see the warehouse now. You know, because when they're looking at things backwards.
Are we the other way round then, are we?
I
See
don't
how
know.
technical we are? No.
Oh gosh, what have I done? Front camera, mirror. There we are, look. Now if you hold that up now, hold that one.
I'm the wrong way round now, no?
I know it. Oh, it looks weird now, but they can see it the right way.
Oh, were you seeing it like the wrong way?
They were seeing it backwards.
So I was cross-eyed the wrong way.
Judith says this is the best Friday night entertainment for ages.
Oh, God.
We're gonna have to start charging people for these lives.
There's someone saying, can they have a date with me?
Someone said, no, they didn't. Someone said the crane and the container was tempting, but it's the wrong gauge.
Oh,
Any
right.
chance?
Yeah, but what scale are you on it?
It says any chance in 176. It is 176.
It is 176. it's a
Double
big.
O gauge.
It is a big. Well, if you think there's the contain.
Thanks, Stephen. Is that better that way?
If you think there's the container here, this isn't the right container truck, but that's not a 40-footer on the Royal Mail, but that is the container, and this 76 scale Coney cranes is what sits at the docks, and they are big. And as I said, when I was at the docks, I had some pictures and drawings, but I always like to see it because you get a feel for it, and that's when I actually. It was only when I was seeing it I realised the cab went back and forth. And then because I saw the cab going back and forth, I decided it's got to go back and forth.
Carl says, Eloise, as your dad is pulling you on every detail, just remind him about the left-hand drive Leyland Cubs he approved when they should have been right-hand drive.
It wasn't Leyland. It was the man, wasn't it? The man. We did it wrong. The man. I approved the man.
So you did. I think we're just establishing that you made a mistake.
We did.
You messed up.
For equality reasons, I decided that we should have some vehicles with left-hand drive.
Oh, this is a good question.
And right-hand drive.
Taff, Paul Bilby, which would be your best model of all time that you've made? I'll give you a minute to think about it.
I can't even think.
Why I thank some of the people. What's been your most favourite project from start to finish? Probably should have pre-prepared these questions.
I think.
Thanks, Adam, Floyd, and Thomas for your orders.
I honestly think, I look at the challenging ones, and one of the most challenging, which I still don't think the expression, is it swearing? You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And the one that took me forever to do was the car transporter, the modern car transporter. And any of you who knows, like Ashley, if he's still hasn't fallen asleep now, Swansea, there's a place called CM Days, which is a car garage. And I spent months going back and forth, taking pictures of these car transporters. I can't remember there's something version 5 and there's a version 6. But the point is that I ummed and ahed and I agonized over the movement of the ramps, because what I wanted is us to be able to show our 76 scale cars at angles. But of course, because the ramps are at angles, the cars will roll off. But of course, if you don't have the cars on, it looks a bit strange because you've got the connector units for the cars. And I suppose at the end of the day, and then to get the movement it can fit at so many angles, and it was very, very painful. A lot of sleepless nights, but it was one, I think, of my favourites. Even doing there's a leaflet inside. I was trying to get someone else to do it, but I gave up in the end because they just didn't understand what I was talking about. So I actually sat down and did the leaflet myself. So
someone put, oh my goodness, Ryan Fielding, oh my goodness, the car transporters are great to hold all the different eras of cars, especially. The transporter is fantastic, Ashley Loverin says. Hi, Ashley, I thought you'd fallen asleep with all the stories.
Sort of like, and one of the reasons why I was sort of did the transporter was back in the 80s. In the factory at the top here, we had a promotion with BP, and it ran over 2 years. And the first year was 5 million what I call Corgi Juniors, 1/64 scale. And the second year was 10 million. But also we did 1 million super hauler trucks, and 250,000 were the Corgi car transporter. And it could move slightly. It didn't move, and I always remember the first year we used red boxes and the second year was blue boxes. Or was it the other way around?
We've had someone asking when are we going to be posting to Ireland again, as it's very frustrating.
Well, if they win the Rugby World Cup, then it honestly
It is frustrating.
It is frustrating, and I'm not making a joke of it, but it's just so you just wouldn't believe it. Like it was earlier this year. We did a test on posting something to France, right, or doing something in France, and then randomly we were picked, and then they wanted to see the customs and what you're talking about just a couple of items, and they wanted to see the licenses in France for these products.
In French.
Yeah. But first of all, I'm not allowed, if we have licenses, I'm not allowed to issue them out. Because say I issued them to Ashley, he could Tipex them over and write something in and pretend they were his. So firstly, I can't do that. I have to go to the car companies to get permission. And once I get permission, I sent the license for Ford, I think it was, and then they said no, we want to translate it into French, and the license.
It's customs is the problem, and adapting our systems to do what customs want from us. So we're working on it. We are. It is something that's going on in the background.
But if Ireland, because you're our best chance really, and can I just say we do have an Irish part of the family, Northern Irish, and if Ireland do win the rugby, we will put it to the very top of our list, because you're our only. I think you're all right. I think you're our only, and
What are some of your favourite models you've seen from us? We'd like to hear some of that, because Chris Pryor just said his favourite was the Austin 7. Give us some of your favourite ones. What have they been, so we can reminisce? Corey Langan says, I'm a big fan from Hong Kong. It's 3:37 here right now.
We're in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Are you in? I hope you're not in the bars in Wan Chai there, enjoying yourself.
What else have we got?
I used to stay in Causeway Bay. I've been to Hong Kong, believe it or not, at least 120 times. I spent more time.
I've been twice.
I've been twice. I've spent more time in Hong Kong. I know my way around Hong Kong and China more than I know my way around Cardiff. If I go to Cardiff, I get lost.
Rover P6.
Rover P6. I mean,
What?
I'm saying it.
Someone else has just ordered. Alan, you've just ordered the Coney cranes with the container.
The container.
Offer,
and
yeah.
how many CBMs are in a 40-foot?
I can't remember what you said.
58 CBMs.
Adam, you've just taken advantage
Actually,
of our
the gentleman in Hong Kong, I always was fascinated, as I used to come from the airport. I used to come by taxi years ago. The container port there, it's absolute. I could spend days just looking at the container
Corey
port.
says Hong Kong has a big market for Oxford Diecast because Hong Kong was a former British colony.
Yeah.
We've got Marty saying
what's the company we were dealing with? Hung Hing, and then
Tiny.
Someone
mentioned something about Tiny.
You'll know Tiny. Tiny.
They said they were producing something similar to us.
Yeah.
Marty says Scania T-Cab might be my favourite, very detailed, nice model. The Newt Boom low loaders. Oh, everyone loves the low loaders. JCB items, buses, trucks, and most recently the new Volvo FL fire engines from Martin. Gerald says the Ford Cortina Mark II in 1/43 scale. Cortina
Mark II. But hasn't Vanguard's done that?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
Carl Darley says loves all the fire engines. Keith Weblin says his favourite model was the Hillman Imp.
Hillman Imp. Do you know why I wanted to do the Hillman Imp?
Corey says Kai Tak Airport.
Kai Tak, yeah, that was it. I used to, Kai Tak was in the 90s, wasn't it? I used to fly into Kai Tak, and Kaitak was like, I'm not saying it was frightening, but it was very close to the buildings. So as you used to come in, it was a bit windy. It used to be a bit scary. But I first went to, what's the gentleman's name again?
Corey.
Corey. I first went to Hong Kong in the late 80s, early 90s. And I met a good friend who passed years ago, who was making the buses, what do they call ABC buses. But I've got an awful lot of friends in Hong Kong.
Sorry, I'm just seeing someone just asked when something's coming back into stock, so I'm
What is
just checking. This Ronnie S. Evans tipper.
Yeah.
But
The trouble is with, we often,
check.
Eloise will say to me, should she want something in it?
Sometimes I just need you to.
But it's whether you
tell me if it was something.
It could be that you rerun it and then
I've done it before. There was something that was selling on eBay. It was selling on eBay for like stupid amount of money, and I reran it, and then we didn't sell them all for ages. But then I reproduced the Crouch recovery trucks, and they came in and went out straight away. So it's really a guess.
I know many of you are going to find this unbelievable, but I made a mistake. I don't know when it was, but it was when
it's discontinued.
Is it? Yeah. When we'd done the Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 Cortinas at 76 scale, we then put them in a set of 3. And by mistake, I ordered it twice. Now, I always say you're not supposed to say to Eloise how many you make, but I remember ordering 3,500 of the sets twice. And 3,500 was a brave decision, but I decided if we're going to make them, we'll make them once. So I had 7,000 of these, and at the time, I just sort of hid my head, and the only person who I got punished was myself. And I didn't think much of it until a couple of years went by. I thought, oh, we've only got a couple of thousand of those left. And then when it ran out, you think, oh, I've got to make them again. And then you think, well, surely, but you're going to do a more Cortina set. Did I say do different colours or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Corey says ABC models.
ABC,
They went bust in, I don't know how to pronounce that.
In
YL 2000, very abruptly. They made mainly 176 China motor bus models.
He went on to, what's the one that John Airy bought a range out. He went on to create another range, which has been discontinued with one of the UK wholesalers. There was him and a Chinese gentleman. He's an Australian guy. But they went on and they started making models, but they were sort of like, I'll be honest, for some of the first 76 scale, I bought off a good friend of mine some Pathfinder brass resins, and they cost a lot of money. And I bought about 12 of them. And that's why if anyone who's really into it, if you look
Base Toys, is it?
Base Toys, that was it. Base Toys, yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
If you looked at the brass, if you looked at the subject matter, you'll find like a Jensen 541R, and you'll find that in the part. But I still got those 12 to 15 brass resins hidden away somewhere. And there's one or two I never made.
What was I just going to say to you? Someone said, Ryan Fielding, my favourite is the Volvo Boniface Recovery.
Yes.
I'd like to see a reissue of the Crouch Recovery one. It's coming. And we've also got other Crouch Recovery. We've got
I saw
Mercedes Sprinter van.
There's a Transit. Oh, it's a Mercedes.
Mercedes Sprinter van, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Transit. I can't remember now.
There's some more Crouch coming.
Corey says, Tiny HK model company has some very nice models, mainly the long wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter. Great for police public order vans like London Metropolitan Police.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we met them, didn't we, in Nuremberg?
We met lovely people.
Hi Lloyd, welcome back. David Thompson says Metro is his favourite. Someone said they like
That's a
the...
Metro. Okay.
No, it's not out yet.
It's not out.
Love the Kerno MRC Transit Special that we did.
Yeah, good enough.
Judith says love the Steam Locos. Would like to see a saddle tank.
A saddle tank,
So
yeah.
040, which we used as shunters in the quarry.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's such
the
a...
Dean's good. Someone's collected a fair few of them over the years. Oh, that's Guion.
Yeah.
Guion, you're always a fan of the rail items. What about Diecast, Guion? TT, you said you were. I'm expecting to see your TT layout soon. Someone says, as I collect your model fire appliances, my favourite model is the Thornycroft Nubian Major from the Duxford Airfield.
Yeah.
I can remember the appliance actually being used there. So guys, we will be heading to an end shortly. We're going to start thinking about doing our competition winner for tonight for someone who's... We've had so many orders through tonight, so thank you so much for all the orders. So we'll give you a little 10 more minutes of just if you're looking to place an order, then go for it. Don't forget that there'll be a freebie added. You've also got free shipping. I'll put the free shipping code up for you, which is there, the bottom there. And don't forget to order, enter our mega competition, which is on our website. If you want to take advantage of some of the offers we've got going on tonight, I'll quickly show you. We've got the Aston Martin there. We've got the 3-piece set. They will stay live for maybe the next 10-15 minutes while we round up. We've got the Coca-Cola. I can't remember how much I put them on for, but I think it was £18.
Not the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, how good's that for Christmas though? If you're buying for your kids.
No. and
the Coney Crane with the container. That is £25. You're normally looking at about paying £41 for the two of those. So you're getting a bargain. Corey says, how about a Kai-Tak Airport Thornycroft Nubian?
Ooh, I don't think I've seen one. I tell you what I did do, Corey, isn't it? Corey.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah.
I tell you what I did do is, which was one of the easiest products I made, which I say was easy. I did the Bofors gun, and I can't remember where I went in Hong Kong. There's one in Hong Kong.
NB Woods 2001 says, I can say that Oxford Diecast filled a very big hole in releasing so many vehicles in 176 with cars, vans and trucks alongside Corgi and EFE buses.
Yeah.
Which is true. Wasn't that your mission when you started out, was to just attack that market?
Yeah, you can't, what you must do is you can't, in battle, if you say in battle, you can't just, if you're going to win a battle, you just don't go in half-hearted, you've got to go in. And my goodness, I put myself on the line with the investments I made in 176 scale. But unless you're going to do it, seriously, don't do it. And I remember seeing a layout in around 2005, something like that, and looking at a railway layout and just seeing these little plastic cars. I presume they came from Hornby. I can't remember, but they were just, they weren't terrible, but I mean, they were just plastic cars, and they just didn't look right. And then I thought, and I've always had this fascination with ice cream vans. So for the first 76 scales, we did ice cream vans, and as I said, I then wanted cars, and then I got the Pathfinder ones were like, there was a Vauxhall Victor, I think there was, I can't remember now. There was definitely the Jensen 541R and another Jensen, but you've got to do it seriously. You've got to do it seriously.
Which I think you did.
Can I just say, if the gentleman is here from New Zealand still, New Zealand are playing Namibia tonight. Marcus just told me from Ireland. The game is on. I won't say.
I know. Imagine I picked a night to do this when Wales were playing.
Tomorrow, Wales are playing tomorrow.
You wouldn't be here, would you?
So that'll be good. And then England are playing on Sunday, I think so.
Corey says, by the way, the Mercedes Sprinter Hong Kong Fire Service ambulance sold out like hotcakes in Hong Kong.
The Mercedes Sprinter, right? Yes.
Hong Kong Fire Service.
Do you know why I did that? The Mercedes, the ambulance, is it?
No. It says the Mercedes Sprinter.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
Ambulance. So when I was coming out,
Oh, those specials ones. Is
yeah,
it?
it was, if it's a Mercedes ambulance, when I
Okay,
came
okay.
out of the convention centre, whenever it was, there was an ambulance there, and I started taking pictures of the ambulance, and I didn't know, but there was someone who'd had some difficulties, but hadn't come to the ambulance, and then I got moved on and by the police in Hong Kong, and they're quite, they've got guns, haven't they? But and that's why I did it, because I saw it outside the convention centre.
Just so you know, we have had 902 entries into the competition this evening,
Yeah, because
which makes me think the question was too easy. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that everyone gets a nice chance to be entered.
I don't think
Chris
anyone
and
wins,
Roy, thank you for your orders. So don't forget the bargain box as well. So we'll make sure that those are kept nice and fresh. £20, you get guaranteed 5 items in there. On the website, you can find them under bundles. We'll be looking at doing some more bundles soon. So give us your ideas if you've got anything that we've missed.
I can't believe I'm sitting here in a warehouse at 10 to 9 when New Zealand are playing Namibia.
Is that a game you wanted to watch?
But no, well, they've just scored again. But
Well, it's what's more important. Look, people have said someone said they'd cancel Netflix if this was on every night.
yeah, but
I mean, we could do it every night.
It's probably because I send them to sleep.
Someone said, what about some airport models?
Ooh, yeah. Do you know? Ooh, I do think about that. We did the. I know it's not what you're thinking. I know, but we did the refueler at 76 scale. I forget. You forget. You did.
Yeah,
We did
airports are good.
but the airports are good. I always think. I know. I always think, should I do a 76 scale set of planes, and then think, well, you can't. It's 72nd scale, but I don't know.
Come on, Taff. So Jam Ford, come on, Taff. The perfect opportunity to tell us about your old Mini.
Who's that from?
Jam Ford?
Jam Ford.
How do you know about that, Jam? You must have met him at a show. He's obviously told you the story, right?
But anyway, my first car was a registration number was JCY646N, and it was a Mini 1275 GT. And if you check on the 76 MINGT001, that has got my registration, and that is my Mini 1275 GT, and it had wooden picket nudge bars on it, and I fitted an air horn, and it had I fitted an electric aerial, and at the time, which sounds ridiculous now, but I fitted a Philips Ranger, which was all the trend, but I hadn't got quite the electrics right, so if you put it very loud, it all went a bit blurry and you couldn't hear it. But my cousin, who won't be watching now, because he's probably on holiday because he's rich and he always is, but my cousin always told me off the air horns, and he came out and said, when I was about 18 years old, it's most irresponsible of you having air horns on a car. Beeping those air horns could scare someone and give them a heart attack. And I thought, well, yeah, that's part of the fun of it, wasn't it? But we used to go racing up and down the Kingsway in Swansea, and I could always get away because my car would go down the lane. But the other guy, Mark, his name was Mark Warrington, he had his parents' car was a Cortina Mark III. It was a GXL, and he could never fit down the lane, so he got caught by the police a few times.
Greg says, would you agree it was a big moment when you first introduced the ice cream vans?
Yes, it was.
That I was really young then, because I remember coming to the shows and seeing the first shots.
They were 40. What happened? I went to the ice cream, what they call it, I think. Anyway, I went there with in my head the Corgi wind-up musical one, the Thames. That was in my head, that shape. And it was because Dusty had said to me, do the ice cream van, and then I thought, do it. And when I went to, what?
Someone's got the model of JCY646NC in front of them right now.
Oh, that's it. So when I went to measure it up at the ice cream company, Whitby Morrison. When I went there, I was amazed because they had a museum of ice cream vans. And the one that they pulled out wasn't like the corgi. That wasn't that one. It was the high top one of the 43rd. And I thought, this isn't the one I want to do. But of course, I took all the pictures, and I was really polite about it and thought, what I'm going to do now. But then when they took me through the museum, I found the other one there. So they had the other one. And then as I was talking to the chap from Whitby, he said, oh, there was a third body type. And he then gave me pictures, and we ended up with a set of 3. And I always remember in Nuremberg, and it must have been about 2005, there were some diecast people. And at the end of the show, I said to them, what was the most exciting thing at the show this year? Expecting them to say, I don't know, Siku. Or, and he said, the ice cream van, that is the killer. And I went, what? I always remember we sold them out. I sold out of them straight away. And the little ones, the 76 scale. How do we do an N scale one? Ice cream.
NCA, Bedford CA.
No, but we don't do a Walls Thames, do we?
No, I don't think so. No.
I suppose you can't do another ice cream van.
You
But
could,
yeah, but ice cream vans are just actually. Well, are we allowed to say it or not?
What?
The ice cream van,
What ice cream van?
the one you just know. Not for us.
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know. There is. We're not selling it, but someone else will be selling it. There is another ice cream van, which
I'm
is.
sure he won't mind.
Do you?
I don't know. Well, we have just toured up a new ice cream.
I'm going to just do a Google and see
if it's in the public domain. While you're doing that, Chris, thanks for your time, especially considering it's a Friday night on the rugby.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't pick it on a Wales game, because he would have left by now, or he would have had it on in the background.
I wouldn't have even come.
Thanks, Ad. Thanks. Someone says Aston. He says Austin, but he means Aston Martin DB5 from the James Bond film.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Another one like that.
Maybe. Any chance of a facelifted Mercedes Sprinter van? No plans at the moment. Johnny English Aston Martin.
So I'm looking for at this company, and I can see their real ice cream van, right? But I can't see.
Oh, just go like this on the screen.
What? Yeah, just but they can't. I can't.
Just to show them what we're talking about.
I can't. But what if we get into trouble?
Yeah, we better not.
We better not. But it is. They've got stock, haven't they?
Yeah,
they've got stock. They've got. But I can't find it. If I saw a picture,
we can see who it is, can't we?
No, because then they'll ring him, and then you'll go to jail.
Okay. Stephen Nolan says, thank you for such a great trip down memory lane. Ryan Fielding says, anything on making the police vehicles like the Astra Mark II or Vectra? People must remember those from the days Vectra, in the bill.
Yeah. The Vectra, do you remember I did it was early days, and I was just trying to make people pleased, and I did the Vectra, the sporty one, and it was terrible because they said they had the CAD. They gave me the CAD, and the CAD was for the car, not for the racing version. I can't think what it was called. You know, the Vector, VEC.
Oh yes, yeah.
VCT 001, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so yeah, maybe another. If it's on the, I'm sure it's on the list.
Okay, if you've got stuff in your basket and you're just checking out now, if you can do that, we are going to start getting ready to draw the winner of a collector's box for somebody who has ordered on tonight's live. Look how many orders we've had in, which is really.
We've had 3 orders,
which is really good.
No, there's a lot of orders there.
Yeah, so that's
your weekend full then.
I'm going to be packing this all weekend.
She's going shopping tomorrow. She's borrowed my credit card, and she's going down to B&M Bargains or something.
Am I? Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
I know how to show a girl a good time.
And someone says, any chance of Asheville aggregates? I don't know what that is.
Asheville, I've heard Asheville.
Johnny English Rolls Royce Phantom, someone said.
Yeah. I love Johnny English. Don't you find that?
Darren McHugh
Which
says.
One is Asheville?
Asheville aggregates. Darren McHugh says
yeah.
Lancashire Mining Museum are after NCB road vehicles. Will you be re-releasing or releasing any more in yellow livery onwards?
We'll make a note of that.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. That is a nice.
Asheville aggregates.
Yeah, they are nice vehicles, aren't they?
What era is that?
They're quite these are quite modern.
Modern, yeah.
But yeah.
Someone says, let me see. It doesn't show the user.
I think is it a DAF? I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a DAF, isn't it?
Someone put I can't see the name for some reason, but someone put time we met for breakfast again, Taff. It's been 7 years. Tell me in the comments who it is.
I often know.
It's not coming up with your name. It just says Facebook user.
So if I go back 7 years, that would be 2016.
Oh, also, what's the one I saw a minute ago? What's is it a Montego?
Yeah, Montego.
In 176. That goes along with the same as like the is it the Metro?
Yeah, it's that sort of Metro Maestro time when the thing is, if you had a
Is it 80s?
80s, is it? Yeah, it's that sort of time. The Mini Metro, right, came out in 1979 because
that's 80s.
If you remember the advertising.
It was Ashley who said that.
If you remember the Mini Metro, the advertising was this big ship sort of arriving at the port with all these mini metros driving off, which was a bit odd because they were made in the UK. But it was at that time you had the Metro, the Maestro. You know, we'd just moved on from the Austin Maxis.
Are we going to say then that depending on how well the Metro goes, will decide the future?
Great salesmanship. Great, what she's saying is if you don't buy, you're not doing that. That's
someone said the Montego is the Maestro as a saloon.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's the
Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Montego launched in 1985. See, I said 80s.
85. Can I just say as well, when Dragon Computers, it got sold to a Spanish company. For about a year, I spent my time out of Diecast and all of that, and I worked for a firm called AB Electronics, and we used to make the electronic. It was new at the time. Everyone was wow, but the electronic dashes for that Austin. We used to for them. What was it? Oh, was it the Maestro? I can't remember. It's interesting as well. The Sinclair computer, which was being made in the factory, they were just shifting production to a contractor overseas, which was just a contractor, and that contractor was Samsung. So Samsung, and they were making the Amstrads and all of that, but they were a contractor. And look at them today. So hey, same thing with Oxford. Look at them today. Tomorrow we could.
Can you do the Iron Maiden traction engine?
It's a traction engine called Iron Maiden. Put it down and give it to Adrienne because it may be on her list. But the trouble sometimes with Adrienne is she'd say, well, yeah, you can't make it because there's this particular component that's different. So therefore it's not accurate, so you can't do it.
We will be, is it Dennis? We will be at the Wally show this year. It says, be nice to say hello to Lyndon again. Are you going to be at the Wally show? I'll be there. What about saying hello to me?
Yeah, you don't want to bother with this and listen. But I've been to Wally so many years and I can't, it's a bit like I really, really, really miss Dorset. As a family, we would go to Dorset Steam Fair and, with COVID, I understand, but it not being on this year, it was so,
Yeah, we missed out, didn't we? We'd
go and we'd
You missed the cider, right?
I missed the cider tent, yeah. But it's sort of like we'd stay in a caravan and just stay on site all the time. We'd laugh, we'd watch other people say, no, I'm staying at the local hotel or something like that. We just wanted to be there in the beer tent, in the cider tent, and all of the, I've got pictures and pictures, all the construction vehicles, the tractors. You want to see the tractors at the the Dorset show.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it?
I know.
And it's a holiday for us, but we didn't get it this year.
Didn't get it.
Lee says, any chance of a Fiat 500 in 176?
I think you've got to do it. I was only saying the other day to someone,
Isn't it already been done?
it wouldn't have been done at 176 scale. It'd be very small.
Yeah, but so are the Isetta's small, isn't
But
it?
it's a bit like there's these iconic, for us it's a Mini, France it's a Renault 4, Italy it's the Fiat 500. It'd be really small, but it doesn't make any difference.
Okay, Lee, we're at it. I've written that one down.
But don't, it won't be next week.
No, we've got it booked up now for the next few years, haven't we?
Yeah,
But yeah, we definitely want to add it on. I'm getting so many questions now, and we are coming to an end. If I was going to Wally, I would definitely say hello to Eloise Superwoman Davis.
I wouldn't waste the time.
Superwoman. That's what I may
she's not going
start.
to give you any discount.
Would love a monthly series on YouTube with Lyndon and Eloise, but the Oxford bestsellers. Thanks, Ryan.
You'd probably get bored listening to Eloise.
Someone says the steam fair Bedford
I could
TK.
probably do it on my own.
The steam fair. You wouldn't be able to do this on your own.
The Steam Fair TK.
Darren McHugh says the fair organ was a great model.
Do you know the chap? I can't think of his name now, but I always laugh because when I first measured it up, which would have been about 2007, the chap who looks after the organ down there, I can't think of his name, but he funny enough, over the years, he always said, we're going to do this up next year, and they never do it up. But I measured it all up, and then the next year he came to the stand to try and find the model, and I said, I hadn't done it. And then the next year he came, and I ducked. And then, sadly, the organizer of the fair, Michael Oliver, wasn't it? He passed, and I just thought, I'm going to do this. I am going to do it. And I actually had someone to hand carve all of the bits, and it's a lovely model.
It is. Do you remember though we kept selling out, and then every year we'd go down the show, we kept finding this box of 6 or this every year, and we'd sell those, and the next year they just kept appearing, didn't they? But I think we are sold out of them now, so we say. The Fiat 500, would that be the old Fiat 500?
Well, I assume you mean the old one. Did the
that's the question. They said the old Fiat 500. Someone said it would. Ryan says it would be a great addition.
They are they are the classics, aren't they? It's a bit like the trouble you have is that it's like with I was saying earlier with the American cars. You start and you go, oh God, look, I've got all of these ones I can do, and someone will say someone else has done it, and I'm going to say, yeah, but I'm going to do it in my way, and all that. And with Oxford, you sort of, you start off and thinking, oh, I've got all these different things to do, and then you start, someone sort of says, what are the Land Rovers you do? And I'm thinking, I have no clue. There is another Land Rover coming, but it looks it's different. It's very similar. And you've become, even Land Rover send people to talk to me about Land Rover now, because I remember someone in one of the shows, they wanted some advice, and you end up sort of saying, you want to do the Land Rover 2A late, because that's the same body shape as the Land Rover 3, so you can do both versions of them. I mean, I'm sure you know that, don't you?
Yeah. Ben Davis says...
He could be related, Ben?
Ben, no, it's Davis, Davis.
Oh, right.
No.
Okay, no.
Hi, Oxford. Would you do the N7 in GER blue?
The N7?
N7 Loco in GER blue. We'll jot it down. Yeah. Would love to see the Austin Allegro saloon police car, so I could do a Life on Mars diorama. That's from Craig.
Was it on Life on Mars, was it? Okay. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That was. What was the cars on Life on Mars ago?
I think we didn't do. I'm sure that's one of the famous models we've
wasn't
got.
It the Mark III GXL was the car, was it? Or am I? Do you know I could watch that again? Life on Mars. It's like I was saying,
famous cars on
here.
Yeah,
but like watching Dad's Army. But I could watch Life on Mars again.
We did the Ford Cortina in gold from Life on Mars.
No, we didn't. We haven't got license. It's just happens.
No,
to
no,
be
it just
those
happens to be in.
It happens to be.
It happens to be. It is a
Same-
real model, but it happens to be in the movie.
But
We don't.
that,
It's not
that
life
car
on Mars
is
on it.
what my friend's parents had that used to race them down the Kingsway. It was that GXL.
Someone says the Land Rover Discovery set is absolutely brilliant. The colours are spot on and was popular at the time.
Which Land Rover Discovery 7 that, Calvin?
Can't
Oh,
remember.
is it?
No.
Yes, yeah, I know. We do you know, with the Land Rover sets, you know, you do them and then they run out and then we do another one, then we do another one. And
John Walsh says, enjoying this, great to see Taff and you, Eloise. That's kind of like a and you, Eloise.
yeah.
Great to see you, Taff and you, Eloise. Well done.
Yeah, great
That's
see
all right, John, no problem.
You can say it's
I'll
great
make
to,
sure.
great to see you, Taff, and what's her name?
And my sister. Yeah, so we are gonna draw the competition now. We're
Go
gonna do
on.
it right now.
What
So,
time is it now?
It's now 9:10.
This is a gentleman's that he can't be missing the New Zealand rugby game.
It's getting close to my bedtime now. So just before we go, we'll do another live before the end of the year. But
look at the score now. Right.
what is it?
I'm not telling you, they may not be watching.
We'll do another live at the end of the year. But what do you want to see? What do you want to see us chatting? Do you want to see?
Do you want to see less of Eloise?
Do you want to see less of me, more of Taff? Do you want to see me packing some more orders? I could practice and get into it, you know? I could really get into the swing of it. Right, so we are going to let us know in the comments though what you enjoy seeing. We can mix it up a bit. We've got some exciting things coming up now for Christmas. We've got I can't say.
What do you mean you can't say?
Some more like
What?
oh, I'm trying to give a hint
I'm not
without
doing
giving
any
it
more.
away.
I'm not being
No,
paid for
I
this.
mean we're doing
I should be on shift.
It's like a
I should be on
bundle.
shift premium for this.
It's like a
If
bundle.
you're in the factory,
Some
I'd shift
Harry
premium.
Potter Ford Angler. We've done that.
We've done that, Harry.
But not
no,
the-
no, we haven't done that.
We haven't done that. It's just
It's the
happens to be the
76
same.
105 something.
003.
We don't do the Mr. Bean mini either.
David says, great to see you both and such a fantastic evening. Right, let me just check the last order number and the first order number. I think
But imagine there's someone there now trying to get their order in and they've got
I have given so many warnings though.
warning.
Wa-
See what it's like? I gave you a warning about. I told you I was coming at 4 o'clock.
Chris
and the tea
says-
isn't ready.
Chris Woodcock said, frantic packing was fun. Was fun last time.
Yeah.
I could just set the camera up and I could just pack the orders and show you the stuff rather than me answering questions.
She wasn't packed. There was some one of the guys.
I was throwing them in the box by the end and
It was
passing
just
them on.
It was just false.
Okay, so
false advertising.
I'm going to let me just do one last refresh in case there was someone pressing buy.
Is there?
No.
No.
Okay, so the winner of a collector's box, which is
How are you doing it? Randomly?
a random number generator. So I've put the first order number in from the live and the last order number from the live.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of disappointed people out there now.
Yeah, well, that's the
Yeah, but you're gonna leave
Generate.
it, and people are gonna go and say, "I'm never watching that again." The only reason I came was to get that Eloise's
right. I'm finding the order number now.
that Eloise's fiddled the, and the winner is.
And the winner is
Lyndon Davis.
John Ingham Law.
Right.
He ordered one of our offers for tonight, the Royal Mail.
Wow.
He got free shipping. He got a good product for a good price, and he got a collector's box.
And 500 quid of my money.
No, that's the mega competition.
that's a
Don't worry
mega-
about that one. That one's at the end of
So
the
what's
month.
this one got then?
This one's got a collector box.
Oh wow.
50 quid of your money.
£50 of my money.
So you've got a collector's box coming to you with your
Brilliant.
order as well. So we'll just run through before we head
So
off.
hang on. When is this thing 500
The
quid?
mega competition we'll announce at the end of this month.
End of-
You've got to enter that by answering.
So
the
when do
really
I enter
difficult-
that?
You can enter it
If
when
I
you go
enter
home. You won't win. You won't win. So I'm just on my list now.
So who was the one who just won then?
John Ingham Law.
Right,
I
okay.
wonder if he's here in the live still. Let's see.
And obviously that has to be declared to the taxman because it's earnings.
Oh, he says John has pulled it back. He said, I meant seeing Taff for the first time because I saw you on the last live and got the emergency bundle packed by you, Eloise. So, okay, John, I'll let you off this time.
Yeah.
Oh, someone says they forgot the free shipping code. Chris, I'll refund it for you now. I'll just jot it
What
down.
is it? Right, okay.
Chris, refund ship code.
I bet he's making it up.
Someone said a monthly series, Taft's Tales. That was from Darren McHugh. Well, if you read Taft's blogs, he writes all the blogs on our website, and they are full of humour. And
Well, no one finds them funny at all.
I do. I find them really fun, and they're also a bit somehow linked to your personal life as well when you're doing your sheds in your garden.
All
and
my
things like that.
ex-girlfriends, everything. I just list them all down, line after line, column after column, hundreds of them.
Oh look, someone's put. I can't say this comment out loud because it will give away the answer to the question.
Is he called that? I didn't know.
In Dad's Army, but we can't read it out, so we'll give the answer away.
But
Mia says, great live stream.
Oh, is that, right, okay, that's the, yeah, okay, got it.
Got it, yeah. So
I
I can't say it out loud because it gives the answer away.
One listen to all.
Okay, so just as a roundup now, don't forget I'll leave the live free shipping code on for the next half an hour, just in case anyone's checking out.
Do you know, check my pen. Do you know how many years I've worked? I've worked 47.
Yeah, but look at this.
I'm supposed to work 35 years to get my pension, which is now 1970, and I'm in the crossover years. I've worked 47 years, and I only need to really work 35 years, and I've got to work another 5 years for free for
all my giveaways.
Barry Adams here and all of that sort of thing. I will have worked something like 52 years.
Stephen says very entertaining.
I'm not one to complain.
Very entertaining. Nice to see you both, and I love hearing Taft stories. And Martin says, thank you guys for your time tonight.
Someone contribute towards my pension. That's what I was wondering if anyone.
So don't forget our bundles. The £20 bargain box is our latest one. You get guaranteed 5 items in there. That's a great gift for any of your friends, family, and a good little starter.
Friends or girlfriends.
Boyfriends.
We do the, which everyone said I should never have done, but just divorce mini. You know, we got a just married mini, and we got just
divorce, and we got one with a little parking ticket on.
A parking ticket went on as well.
Fair
and
funny.
I always laugh. I always think of EastEnders with what's her name? You know, imagine your sort of wife. You say, "I've got a special present for you for Christmas." You know, it's keep it till the end to unpack it. You know,
and I give it just divorce.
Yeah, well, when she opens up the package at the end, it's a just divorce, and she said, "I don't like me." No, read.
Please don't take his advice.
Read the package, just divorce. She said, "What does that mean?" Then I said, "I'm off."
Please don't take that advice. That's terrible advice.
Congratulations, Mimi.
So don't forget to enter our mega competition as well. I cannot wait to ring someone up and tell them that they've won £500.
She thinks she's like this postcode lottery things. You can turn up and scare you to death on the door.
No, I won't be turning up anyone's doorstep.
Hello! And they go, ah!
No, I'll just give you a call, don't worry. But yeah, you can win £500. It'll be
got your number, she'll call you all the time.
It'll be a voucher, so you can shop away on the website freely as and when. You can keep it for the next 6 months and buy the new releases every month.
Hang on, no, with inflation, it will devalue then, won't it?
Yeah, but if that's what someone wants to do, they can do that. So don't forget that. We'll leave the offers on for the next half an hour or so while we pack up around here. So it's been really nice.
I haven't made the tea yet. I've got to make the tea because my wife's away in Portugal, enjoying herself, and I'm here. I made my tea. When I go home, I'm going to do corned beef. I love cooking. I'm going to do corned beef hash.
I don't think people have come here to listen to what you're having for tea. But just a big thank you for everyone being here tonight and for celebrating with us our 30th anniversary.
Can't wait for the 60th.
Yeah, so and we hope you've enjoyed our announcement and us trying to do something a little bit different. And we hope to see you all on the next live.
Yeah.
And
take care and good luck Wales tomorrow in the rugby, and good luck England. But Ireland, I think, are going to be our hope.
Judith says Eloise will pay for takeaway for you, I'm sure. I will not.
No, I'm
absolutely not.
I'm not having that KFC rubbish and all that. Oh, no, it's not. I said it live on air. KFC.
Brandon.
KFC. Brandon. Now people
You're going to get me in trouble. He's talked about wine and all sorts. Right. Well, anyway, it's lovely to see you all. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed all our offers.
Good to see you
And
all.
it's a good night from us.
It's
So
good
we'll
night.
see you next time.
Cheers. Cheers.
So I just, oh.